What is up, guys? That here for another video of RS Let's Play 2007. So today's episode, we're gonna be doing a lot of picking as in the disc. But first of all, this is gonna be a short video because I want to tell you guys another story time. And what am I doing? I need to make bowstring. Such a silly goose. It's gonna be a short video. It's gonna be another story time, of course. Don't talk to you guys about about 24 hours of fame and what happened when I used to play Runescape and how much I used to make and what I used to do a lot. So let's get started. When I started playing Runescape, me and my friend Tyler, I met this guy over summer at I used to do a lot of camping and stuff. He's at this campground. He's like, "You play Runescape?" I was like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Because yeah, you're wearing a shirt that says Runescape on it." And I was like, I didn't notice it at the time. I was a big nerd back then, so I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, add me. My name is, and I added him, and he was a really cool guy. We ended up doing Castle Wars for, I believe, how long do we play? Every night we would get on. We had a time we get on at 11 o'clock at night, and we would play till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And then we would actually, by the third day of just doing this, we kept meeting the same people over and over again. And they were like, dude, how long you guys been playing this? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, dude, you guys do know you're on the leaderboards right now for Castle Wars. And I was like, what? Yeah, he's like, yeah, you're the number 50th spot on Castle Wars. You and your friend. I'm like, and I was actually he was a higher level than me, and I was actually higher than him. He was 20 levels above me, and I was 20 levels below him. I was just beating him on high scores. I was just so pumped. I was like, fuck yeah. Dude, me and him were like the shit at Castle Wars now. We ended up making a video saying Castle Wars tips and what we like to do. This is how we did it. We said, you need a friend, and you go on a Castle Wars. It was about this time, 2007, back in the day. This is around that time. And we would just say what to do in Castle Wars, how you should do it, and how you should play it. We always said with the friend, do multi-Russian. Multi-Russian is pretty much when you have two people and you cut around the edge of the castle war, castle or whatever, and you pretty much just rush and just kill one person at a time. You have both of your teammates just rush in there and kill one at a time. And it ended up taking out waves upon waves of enemies. And that ended up getting us a lot of kills. And we ended up getting about 5 full sets of just Castle Wars armor. We were just set pretty much. We tried to stay on the leaderboards as long as possible. We ended up started losing when we stopped playing. We ended up stopped playing for a while after we made videos and stuff like that. We started getting really bored. We ended up going to the new thing that was released, which was God Wars. We went to that a lot because God Wars, believe it or not, had a leaderboard. It wasn't on the Runescape website. It was on a forum called Zibes.net. Or I think it was Zibes Forums, which now is used for a price guide, and it had the top God Wars players. And how it judged this is it actually messed with the RuneScape system, and somehow I don't know how they did it, but they actually had RuneScape permission to do high scores on God Wars, and I was like, how the fuck are they doing this? So we went for that a lot because not a lot of people were on it because no one really signed up for it. Well, I mean, not a lot of people were noticing it. We decided to go for it and pretty much said we were on top of the leaderboard and blah, blah. We ended up, then the next week, we ended up meeting a guy. Well, we ended up seeing this guy who apparently was one of the most famous RuneScapers of all time. His name was Zezima. And we saw him walking around killing revs. And we noticed that he was on the high scores a while ago. He was number 1 in crafting and fleshing, I believe. And I was like, dude, this guy's really fucking good. He's 99 everything right now, and he's really famous. And my Tyler was like, no way, no he's not. Is he really? He was so shocked. We met a famous person today. And he actually ended up messaging us back, which apparently he's not known to do. We were walking with him, and he's like, you guys want to help me kill revs? And we're like, fuck yeah. We ended up dying, long story short, and we ended up, he probably picked up our loot. We had about 2 mil worth of stuff, which was a lot back then. We have a whip. I lost my whip. He lost his I believe his armadillo hilt he had on him at the moment because he was actually going to the mage bank to do some I think it was train something. I don't remember exactly why he was going to the mage bank to train, and we ended up just getting really fucking just getting really pissed off at each other because I told him, I was like, dude, I told you not to go there with all the hilt and stuff. because we were actually gonna share the hill because we ended up getting like I ended up getting a hill. I mean, he ended up getting a hill. I ended up getting a shard, and I said when I get the second shard, or if you get a second shard, we'll put them together, and we'll end up sharing it. We'll put it back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, that sounds cool actually. And so we ended up doing that, and yeah, it was like really cool. And then we ended up getting into a big fight, and we ended up not playing Runescape with each other for a while. We ended up like we were little kids though. We were like 13, 12, I think actually, and it just wasn't really like fun for us anymore. Anyways, we were getting tired of RuneScape. I wasn't, of course, but he was for some reason, and I ended up playing Castle Wars, going back to Castle Wars and play it by myself, and a lot of people noticed me. I went back to Castle Wars about 5 weeks later, and some guy came up to me. He's like, "Dude, I remember you. You were in Castle Wars a while ago." He's like, and then next thing you know, 5 other people were coming up. Next thing you know, 10 other people were saying, "Is that really Zed?" That was my name back then. My name was Zeddy. That's why I changed my name to Zeddy Zek. It wasn't Zed Zek. It was just Zeddy for some reason. I don't know why I had weird names back then. And it was just like I was like RuneScape famous almost. I was still in the Castle Wars leaderboard, but I was like 70-ish kinda. And for some reason, I was so recognized. I don't know how. I guess I met a lot of people. Met a lot of people from before that remembered me really well. I just didn't remember them because I met so many people in Castle Wars. But let me just say, guys, Castle Wars is the best way to make friends. I mean, Castle Wars, there's no one really. I'm not sure about now, but back then, no one was dickheads. Like, they don't care what level you were, as long as you're helping like cause players to like lose focus and try to kill a noob. Like if you're a noob, you can just lure people. Really, you can just lure them back to your base and have your teammates take them out. So I mean, that's just really. I mean, back then it was more like friendly people in RuneScape. Now I'm not so sure. If I went to Castle Wars, I'm pretty sure they would hate me because of my low level. But yeah, I mean, but back then it was a shit. I mean, it is still a shit too, but just RuneScape is kind of a lot different. Even if it is 2007 Scape, it's not really the exact same. I think it'll never be the exact same, but they did a great job with it. The community's nice, but they're just not like as they were back then. So that ends today's episode for story time. And first of all, let me give you guys something, a little tip. This is an amazing tip for money making. Do what I'm doing right now. This is pretty much making me around per hour. I would say a good 150k, which is just too much in this game for a very little requirements. You only need 10 crafting, and when you're doing this, your crafting will go up a lot. I'm guessing I'll probably have 30 crafting by the time I'm done getting about a k worth of these bowstrings. So yeah, I'll be pretty loaded. So guys, until next time, I will see you guys later. I'm waiting until it hits 8 minutes, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright guys, talk to you guys next time. Peace.